Hello, my name is Simon from CramTheExam and welcome to another video where I walk you through another English exam question. Today we're going to have a look at the Part 8 multiple matching reading question from the Use of English advanced paper. And this particular question is taken from the excellent website flojo.co.uk. If you haven't had the chance to visit flojo.co.uk, please do so, full of resources to help you get ready for your English exam. And it's not just the advanced exam, but also FCE and many other English exams as well. Links to both Flojo and to this exam question are in the video description below. Okay, Part 8 multiple matching question looks to be quite a challenge, but actually it's not too difficult to prepare for. Of course, you do need to practice and practice. You're given a number of texts to read, and then you're going to have 10 questions, multiple choice questions, to answer. So how to go about it? What I would do is this. Read through the text first, and I would try to summarize each text in a sentence or two, so you remember the general idea of each text and what's going on. So for this particular one, for A, it's some kind of middle-class love story in New York. For B, it's going to be a story, I think from India, if I'm correct, about a heroine, something like Scarlett O'Hara. For C, it's about an American writer, David Mamet, and this is quite negative, quite critical, which is also something that's worth paying attention to. D is about a true story of a woman in 1953, forming a magazine, helping other women. E is about history, Henry VIII and the last person that he killed before he himself died. And F is a Second World War story by the author of Schindler's List. So as you read through those texts quickly, you should be pulling out details. What is the general idea of each text? And of course, this becomes easier with practice. So when you've got those ideas in your head, then go and approach the questions. And at least if you do this, you'll be able to narrow down the options to not 6, I think, in this case, but maybe just down to 2 or 3, or in some cases maybe even 1. So if you do have to guess, you're going to make an educated guess. So let's have a look at the answers. As you can see over my head and over my shoulder, you'll see the answers. So what I'll do is I'll point out the vocabulary links between the answers and the text. A story in which someone is unaware of the impact of their action. You will find this in D. And we're looking for something that suggests a lack of awareness, something that we don't know, that she doesn't know what's going on, or at least she doesn't know the results of her work. And we can find that here, where Ubik little realised that she would be the trigger for the launch of a new and private magazine. Little realise. If you little realise something's going on, it means that you are unaware of what's going on. In this case, the impact of their action would be a magazine that would last for the next 50 years. So for number 1, the answer is D. For number 2, a description of the opening scene. And we can see this in B. The story begins at a firework party in Delhi, ... So the story beginning is a clear reference to an opening scene. For question number 3, which book, in which review is this mentioned? An author who exemplifies source material with their own analysis. So if you remember the general idea of this, of the each text, you might recall that in D we'll see this own analysis, and we're looking for the vocabulary link, and we can find it here right at the end of D, where it says Jenna Bailey, who is the author, has done a superb job, let me highlight it here, of organising and editing this compendium, adding, and this is the key bit here, adding her own insightful commentary, which is her own analysis. So this is the vocabulary link to own analysis. For question number 4, a humorous comparison with a real life situation. we'll find this in A, where the review begins by comparing the book to a date. Reading a new novelist is a bit like asking out a stranger on a date. You never know if this is going to be the start of a beautiful relationship. So this comparison is exactly what this is what it refers to in question number 4, a comparison with a real life situation. For question number 5, it says a character who finds out the truth about a situation. And once again, if you remember the general idea of the text, if we go to F, we'll see that link a little bit down here. Where is it now? Here we go. But it is many years before Grace discovers the facts about his death. And it's that vocabulary link there, the facts about his death, that refers to the truth about a situation. And of course, we're also talking about a character, and Grace is the character in the story. For question number 6, a hint that the author's future writing career will be positive. So we're looking for some kind of positive commentary on the writer, and we can find this in A, where it says early indications are that this blind date could lead to a deeper relationship. In other words, what this is saying is that the author is writing in such a way that any future book would also be positively received by the readers. In other words, her future writing career will be positive. For question number 7, it says a book that would be appreciated by people without much previous knowledge of the subject. We can see this in C, where the text says, that said, the book offers a sound introduction to the life and career of the man... So if it's a sound introduction, then this is a clear vocabulary link back to people without much previous knowledge of a particular subject. In this case, not knowing much about the author of the playwright, David Mamet. For question number 8, the answer is E, a book which has already won critical acclaim. So if we go to E, it says here in E, here we go. If we're talking about critical acclaim, we're talking about winning prizes or winning awards of some kind, and we can see this here, was the worthy winner of last year's Elizabeth Longford Prize. So this is this winning of this prize links back to winning critical acclaim. For number 9, we're looking for something, a criticism of some kind, a book which includes too much factual detail. And if you remember back at the beginning, I talked about one particular text which was kind of critical, and indeed it is C, which is what our answer is. And we can find the vocabulary we're looking for here. Whilst Nadell is clearly striving for accuracy, one feels there ought to be more sifting, more mining for the gold amongst the biographical trivia. In other words, too much little details, not enough focus on the important stuff. So, which links back to the idea of too much factual detail in question 9. And for question number 10, a mention of the profession of the author. We can see this in B. Let's just pop it over here, where it talks about Suri, who is our author, if we just need reminding, because it says here, in Manil Suri's second outing, so she's the author. So in case you're thinking that Suri might be a character, she's not, she's the author. And by way of introduction, it says mathematics professor Suri. So without labouring the point too much, Suri is a mathematics professor, which links back to question number 10, a mention of the profession of the author. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my walkthrough there. If you need any further clarification, or indeed if you disagree with anything that I said, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you, both positive and negative comments. And if you want to practice any more of your any more exam questions, you'll find plenty more on my YouTube channel. If you're preparing for your advanced exam, study from Gold Advanced, from Ready for Advanced, and from Expert Advanced, then to see videos like this about the exam questions in those textbooks, check out my website CramTheExam.com, where for a very small monthly fee you'll get access to all of my explanatory videos to all of the exam questions for the exam questions in those course books. Okay, I'll see you again soon.